Welcome to the Cosmic
Welcome!
Ocean. My name is Nayeli.
And I'm Fatima, su servidora.
Okay, and before we start, I do want to acknowledge that here in Denver, Colorado, we are on the unceded land of the Arapaho and Cheyenne peoples, amongst many other peoples that have traveled to this land. And it is important to acknowledge that we are on stolen land, and we need to give the land back.
And all the individuals that have been displaced.
Oof, Ashe.
We were working today with this agency that works with people experiencing homelessness, and it's just becoming such a problem here in Colorado. Mm-hmm. It's like getting worse and worse and worse. It's just so sad.
And then they're being kicked out from the spaces where they can find resources easily.
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah.
And being pushed all the way to the outskirts.
And then it's like, and most of them, not most of them, the majority of them are just individuals, working class people who one day, get laid off. And then they have nothing to do, and then also they can't find a job, and all this shit happens. But then also individuals who experience mental health illnesses, and they just don't get the support that they need.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so sad. We have such a messed up system, that.
Well, it's not messed up. It's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. So
it's so sad.
We have to abolish all that shit.
So I work for a nonprofit here in Colorado, in Denver, where we focus on victims of crime. And so we support individuals who have been victimized. And I have two different roles right now. So I specifically work one as a paralegal, and I serve undocumented victims of crime. So individuals who have been victimized by partners, by strangers, and I help them through their legal process. And then my other role is I'm currently working with a translation and interpreting center where we also serve victims of crime. So we provide interpreters and we provide contractors who go and support individuals who need assistance with who need language support. And so most of our clients are victims, a lot are undocumented, and just individuals who need help through the legal process.
Right.
And so so that's my main job, but then we do all kinds of other stuff in the agency. And today we had it's called a compassion fatigue workshop. And so that's one of the things that I also work with. And we provide this service to other agencies who are feeling that vicarious trauma. So vicarious trauma is like the trauma that we get. It's secondary trauma. So me working with victims of crime, I'm constantly surrounded by people's stories and all their stuff that they come and they trauma dump on me. They dump everything. Mm-hmm. So now I know, but before I didn't. So I would just take in all that. And so take in all that trauma, take in all that stuff. And so what that becomes vicarious trauma. So I'm experiencing that trauma. One of the things that we have learned is that by taking care of yourself, by having really good self-care, really good boundaries, really good resilience, you're able to not absorb that vicarious trauma, or you're able to shield yourself better and work through it. And then hence you don't get that compassion fatigue, so you don't become you don't burn out. So we provide this service to teach other professionals who work in this field how to take care of themselves, how to provide that for themselves, what they give to their clients.
To fill up their own cup, right?
Yes. So I think that's so important always. And it took me many, many, many years. I think I just realized maybe in the last year,
how,
right, that I have to take care of myself first.
How did you come into that realization?
By actually taking care of myself.
Oh.
By actually putting myself first. Because I think that being a mom, being a Latina woman, being a Mexican woman, being a Mexican wife, is we are taught, especially as Latinas, that we need to take care of everybody else first. We need to take care of the husband. We need to take care of the children. Everything has to be good, and then we can take care of ourselves. But we are taught to be selfless and to give everything away, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that especially this year is when I'm actually putting that into practice and actually taking care of myself,
right,
and doing stuff for me,
right. And we go back into that understanding, and I think we talked about it briefly, but I've been talking about it all fucking week about how you can't experience it until you stop trying to understand it, and then when you stop understanding it, you experience it. I don't know if does that make sense? You can't experience it until you stop trying to understand it, but you can't understand it until you experience it.
Right. So in a sense of like,
I'm just like, wait, what?
So it's like, so what you're trying to say is, I didn't know that I wasn't taking care of myself until I went through that process of not taking care of myself.
No. What I'm trying to say is that you didn't know that you weren't taking care of yourself but you knew cognitively what you needed to do to take care of yourself, but you never did it.
Right.
And then you started experiencing it. You started doing what you were supposed to do.
Yes.
And then you finally understood it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And that concept is everywhere and everything.
My God. And I think that this year I've just really learned how to actually practice what I preach, right? Like I'm a yoga teacher, but my personal practice was off and on. And so I think finally this year it's been really consistent, and I'm actually putting in that work.
And doesn't it make a huge difference?
Oh my God, it's a huge difference. Yeah. You know, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I'm a really good yoga teacher because I really like it, and I really go in and I connect. But it's part of my gift too, and so it's like a lot of things, right? So I really like to teach. I really like to connect, but now that I have my own practice, like I'm doing a lot more. I don't know, different movements and just flowing more. Just go. I never prepare my classes either. I just go with it. But now I feel like I have just so much more to pick from. You know.
Yeah,
it's
I
so
think
nice.
that's been a theme for you. Really doing
practicing what I preach.
Yeah, I don't know, since we started our healing sessions. Not to brag, not to toot my own horn, but
Why
yeah,
are you tooting it? No, I was kidding.
Because I'm the one that provides these healing sessions and look at your life aligning and you finally understanding what you've been trying to understand for months.
Oh my God! So I can share it, right? The
Yeah,
meditation.
of course you can.
So then I finally started meditating, right? Like Nayeli's been telling me to meditate forever. So I finally started meditating, but like actually meditating, because I've been meditating, but I'll do 5-10 minutes and just watching the clock, just like. But this time
inconsistently,
super inconsistent. But
what did it look like?
It would look like I would go to bed and be like, "Oh, let me meditate. 5 minutes. Okay, I'm good."
And what was meditation like? Like, what would you do? Just lay there?
So I would sit there or lay there, put on some music, and close the eyes, you know, and I just try to not listen to my thoughts. And I would check the time. And so that's what I would do.
Okay.
And finally, I think I understood that I just need to let go. Just need to let go. And
how?
And so I just stopped worrying about trying to meditate, literally. Because then I was like, oh no, I need to meditate. But then how do I meditate? I stopped thinking. So now what I've been doing is I just go into it, let it go. If thoughts come in, I acknowledge them. You know, I don't pay attention, but I acknowledge them. And then just let myself go. But I think one of the things that really helped me, I don't know when you said it. I don't know if you said it in the last podcast, but you said that, yeah, you go into this dark room or into this really light room. And I remember when I would start meditating before, I would always go into the light room and I'd be like, oh shit, bye.
Wow.
And then I would,
okay, so
like, oh my God.
Okay, so what I hear is that you would meditate and then you'd reach this point where you'd get into the white room and then dip.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Why?
I'd be like, because I didn't know what the white room was. Shoot.
And you were never curious? Like,
I was scared, I guess. I guess that's what it comes down to. I was like, oh God, no, I'm not going to go in there. Shoot. They teach us not to talk to strangers.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, but look, let me tell you my perspective. I'm super nosy. That's why I love what I do. But so whenever I go places, and it's so funny, whenever I go places, like to grandma's house, dad's house, I'll go through everything. Like, I'll just like...
You are just like your uncle.
Who?
My brother.
Oh, really?
That's what he fucking... Have you noticed? Like, when he stayed with us for a couple of weeks, oh my God, he would go through everything. And I'd just be like watching him like, God damn. But he's like, I'm just so nosy.
I just want to know. Oh,
that's what he did. And it wasn't malicious. It's just looking
everything. Yeah, I remember I went to go visit dad and I was going through everything. Like, dead ass. Just looking around, opening it up, grabbing things, putting it on, you know. But then, so when I went into the white room, it was okay, what's going on? Who's here? No. You know what I mean? It was that same curiosity of what's going on.
Oh, how interesting.
And then the thing is that because I felt like I was still in control, I wasn't scared. You know what I mean? Because you know me, I'm also really scared. I'm a scaredy cat.
See, that's interesting because for me, it's like, oh my God, I have no control. I need to get out. That's what. But now I just go with it. But I'm gonna confess, I do fall asleep, or I feel like I fall asleep. But one of the things that I learned, and when I was talking to you as well, is like when that happens, it's something that's like sometimes your mind can't deal with it yet, or your psyche, your consciousness can't deal with it, so you just take you away, right? So,
or what I've also been hearing is like you're using a lot of your own energy, a lot of energy that you usually don't work with, and you get tired. It's like when you're doing spiritual work, you get tired. So what I started doing is when I feel really, really tired during my meditation, I'll call on to Pachamama and ask and like really envision the earth. The earth is Pachamama. Holding me, the roots like coming up and also feeding me. Giving me energy. And so then when I feel tired, I'll change the rhetoric or I'll speak into the existence. Give me more energy so I could keep going. Feed me your energy so I could keep going. And then it's like como si nada. So try that.
I'm gonna try that because then I don't even realize, and then I hear myself snoring.
Oh.
but this is what's so crazy. I like remember.
That's always the case with you, though. That's always the case.
So I hear myself.
Yeah.
I don't even know I fucking snored.
I just remember
last week
you telling me though, like during savasana.
That's what I was gonna tell you. So when I first started doing yoga, when I went to a yoga class, I hated it, but I love shavasana. Shavasana is the last pose. We meditate. You lay down. And we do a trauma sensitive yoga, so we're out for like 5-10 minutes. It's a nice guided meditation. So God damn. So I would pass out, and I would snore, and I would just wake myself up by hearing myself snore. But oh my God, that was bliss. Like, so that was my first experience with meditation a couple years ago. And so now my meditations are like that. I get to that point. But I don't remember a lot. But I was telling Ailey that I lucid dream a lot more. I dream this crazy ass stuff that I need to journal about, and then just stuff is making more sense. Like my questions are answered.
How does that look like? How does it feel?
So
well, really quickly, because your dreams are being more lucid, you are activating your pineal gland, your third eye, your ori. You're waking yourself up the more that you meditate.
All right. So then a good example would be, I guess, that I had a hunch about something. You know, it was just like, oh my God, they're lying. You know. And then a couple of days later, maybe a week, 7 days, that person just came up and just started telling me this stuff, and pretty much just they confirmed that they were lying.
And you didn't have to.
I had to say anything, and they confirmed they were lying without them realizing that they confirmed they were lying. And I was just like,
and so how did you? Because you're a generator,
right? So
generators, they respond really well to yes or no questions. Or just in questions in general, and it really activates you. So how did you get to the point where you knew they were lying? Like, did you ask yourself a question? I want to know more about that.
So I get really like curious too, and kind of like you, but different. So then when they were telling me this whole story, I was like, my first instinct was they're lying.
And but then your body, how did your body react? So my body
gets like all activated, but
when you heard they are lying, did your body say yes or no?
And then my body was like, yeah. But then I was like, but their story, right? So I doubted it a little bit.
But the first thing your body said yes.
They're lying. So then I was like, are they lying? No, are they lying? Are they lying? So then I asked, are they lying? And I just waited.
And when you asked, what did your body say?
Yes.
So that's 2 yeses that you heard just straight.
Yeah.
The first thing you heard.
And so normally though I would have kept questioning, and they're like, shut up. I'm like, okay.
And so you left it.
And I just left it.
And you waited to respond.
And I waited.
Super duper generator energy.
Yeah, which I was totally acting out of my so before my work I was so reactive. I would just react, lash out. And so now, after I've done all my work, and now knowing I'm a generator, I really just quiet and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something my ancestors have also been working a lot with me in shutting up and
mm-hmm.
listening. Because I can talk, and I like to talk.
Sagittarius, Sun, Leo rising.
So I can talk. And so now I just really, it takes me a minute, but I really try to sit back and listen and just enjoy and just see what comes up.
And because I think it's really interesting, I think you do try to listen, but I do see you still thinking.
Oh, I think a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And there has to be that separation. You know what I mean? Just listening.
Right.
Like when I talk, I want you to listen to what I'm saying, not think about what you're going to say next. That part.
That
good.
Part. That's good.
And you know, my dad's just like that too. Sometimes I'm like I know you're not listening, bro.
Because they're getting ready to react.
No, because they're
to respond.
But it's like, but even then you're not. You know what I mean? I do that too. And I think that's why it's really easy. I think a lot of people do that actually. But anyways, going back to your body, listening to what your body was saying more. Okay, hold on.
Oh.
What about listening? Oh my god, we do that a lot. Like, that was one of the biggest things that I would always tell you for at one point in our life. I think when I came back, I was just like, I'm trying to tell you something.
Yes.
And you just interrupt me.
Yes.
Guessing?
Yes.
I remember. Do you remember?
No, but yes. I don't remember, but I remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know. Like, you remember? Okay, yeah. You don't remember the specific scenario,
right,
but
I
you
remember
that.
Remember.
So basically, what we're talking about is I would always be super desesperada, super impatient,
annoyed
with my mom whenever we'd have conversations, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm."
Yeah. Like that. I was just giving an example.
Triggered. That's the grass.
I was just showing.
I'm just kidding. Okay, and we'd be talking, and I'd be trying to say something, explain something. Oh my god, I have something to tell you. And she would just guess, like interrupt me and guess, and I'd be like, no. And sometimes in the podcast you do hear it, like I'll be like, oh, that was super, and mom will be like, emotional, and I'd be like, no. That is not, like, listen, just listen to what I'm saying.
Oh, we're not playing guess the next word?
No, never have. But yeah, I think that's going back to what you're still trying to do. And I'm like that too. I don't want you to feel like I'm shitting on you.
Yeah, shit on me.
So, okay, going back to, and listen. Going back to how your body says yes when you ask a question as a generator. It doesn't feel... it may feel a little difficult to differentiate your body and your mind, right? But the more that you meditate, the clearer you will see. My mind said this, my body said that. It's like two separate fucking things.
And so that's where I'm like, oh my god. And so I just needed that confirmation because I think I'm so in my head.
What confirmation?
That second, no, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I think that I'm always so in my head. I'm a thinker. I'm used to living in my head. I was always in my head. So I think that's where yoga has helped me a lot, but to get out of there. But it's just a constant reminder of stop, And so, yeah, it's interesting to start really trusting that your gut, that gut intuition and hearing them, right?
Yeah.
And actually hearing what they say and trusting that what they say, trusting that they have your back. Right? Ooh. Whoever you want.
Oh, just in general?
Like your ancestors, your abuelitos, your abuelitas, your
spirit guides,
your
deities,
ascended
the
masters, your
creator.
Shoot, whoever you whoever your what is it? Your higher self, whoever you believe in, right?
Yeah, just trusting.
Yeah.
Free falling.
But man, so then that what else was I telling you about the meditations? It was that, and then also is there another one?
Well, just talking to the ancestors, hearing, and I think that hearing, what you were telling me earlier was that you have been asking yourself more questions and hearing the response clearly.
Which, going back that I always said, my abuelito always was like, you can hear me. And I'm like, what?
I can't hear
What are you talking about? And so now it's like, damn, I get it. Like, they're always talking to us, they're always talking to us. And I think that with meditation, you learn how to quiet that thinking part. And like you said, and actually listening and paying attention to the signs, paying attention to what they're actually trying to tell you. So one of the things that I think my first signal signs of knowing that my abuelitos were there with me is like seeing the angel numbers, right? 111, 222. That's where I started. Then I would go look them up and see what they meant. Seeing like that 555 everywhere. I would first start noticing like, oh, it's 555. And then started noticing license plates and just like, the numbers. Like right now, what I see all the time is 369, 369.
Dude, it was after the fucking podcast. Remember podcast episode number 9, did we say? And we were talking about 369, and I was like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if you started seeing 369 after hearing the podcast. I've been seeing it everywhere.
369, So I see 369 everywhere now. And then...
wait, have you been seeing it since that? Or like
no, before. Because I started seeing it since the class. 3 is a divine number. 369. But the songs, the lyrics, the people you see, the people you interact. I don't know if it's ever happened to you that you think about a person and they'll call you and they'll text you. Right? So it's just all of that it's those are all the signs.
The signs are in the simple shit.
Yes.
And it's like we always, me a while back, I always was like, well, you have, it's so funny. My first journal ever, opening up to like the first few pages, it was like, ancestors, you have to come down. You have to show yourself to me. But it's like really these huge miraculous things that I was like, only if I see that will I believe. And it was such bullshit. Yeah, I know.
When was this? How old were you?
Oh my god, like 17.
Okay,
yeah. And so now it's like, wow.
Is that when they're all there closing and closing your door and you still didn't believe them? Isn't that crazy? Yeah. They would do that and then you were still questioning.
Stop.
Damn.
Because, oh my god, full circle moment.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And I was so fucking... See what fear does to you guys? Yeah. If you don't understand, go watch... go listen to episode number 10 because we talk about it. God damn. You did not need to call me out like that. That was so rude. That was so fucking
You're
rude.
welcome.
Damn.
Okay.
No, damn.
That's crazy, huh?
What? Okay. Anyways, it's in the really little things. The numbers, the bees, the conversations. I was watching Glee and this guy was wearing a jacket and it had 333 on it. Shut the fuck up. Stuff. Yes, it really is. Oh. And then, but then there's that second part of discernment.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything is a sign and you see it for a reason. Everything. I don't give a fuck. It's everything. It's everything. Why? Because everything is energy. You are energy. And it just... I don't know how to explain it. And it's all connected. Because we are energy, and because everything else is energy, we are all connected, and we are all one. And it's just moving, just flowing. So whatever comes to you for a reason. So then that's where the discernment comes into play, and you have to ask yourself, why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this? I used to be super hardcore. Like, first of all, I'm a Pisces, and a Virgo rising. And my Neptune is in my 5th house. So are you. So we're really good.
Gonna be like a little crazy then. Let's go.
You were talking about crazy? You raised me.
I know. That's what I was like, oops.
That's why you were like, oops, or not until you realized that your Neptune was also in your 5th house were you like, oops.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. Bro, what? Okay, so...
You're not crazy.
Basically,
you're so...
Okay, now because we have something in common. See, you guys, you think you play me, pero no. Yo te veo. So the Neptune in the 5th house, basically what I'm trying to draw is that I'm really good at ilusionándome.
So me too.
Yeah, you too, with the Neptune too, goddamn.
So like we imagine all this stuff.
Fake shit.
Oh.
Yeah, like we're really good at living in an illusion.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in romantic relationships.
Oh. Yeah. hence my... Yes.
Drama!
Yes.
So basically...
So I was living in a fairy tale land for 20 years.
Right. And so what I'm trying to say is I saw so many signs that were like telling me my truths, but I would be like, because I didn't have discernment or I had too much discernment that I'd be like, I don't like what I see, so I'm going to make it into something else. I did. I changed all the signs to be something else. I changed the signs. I changed
to your advantage,
to my reality. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God, hard fucking core, and that's where the discernment and being fucking honest with yourself comes into play.
Oh my God, yes, that is crazy. I remember just seeing all these signs at one point, like leave, run, don't just walk away, run. Oh no, it'll be okay.
Why run towards them, right? Towards them.
Yes. But at the end of the day, I guess we just learn, right?
Yeah.
We learn from it. We get better eventually.
Yeah, we do. And it all happened for a reason.
It did.
Right?
It'll happen for a reason.
Cool.
Yeah.
So then what else did you want to say about the signs? What did you want to say?
I think I just want to give some examples, I guess, of signs. I think it's like it's evil also in the little things, right? I think for me it's happened so many times where like I'm always running late, but some days I'm like, oh shoot, I'm extra late, right? I forgot something and I have to run back in the house and I'm so annoyed. And then as I go down like the highway or the street, whatever, there's an accident. So it's like those little things like, wow, I could have been right there. I could have been in that spot. Just all those little coincidences of always being there somewhere, but it's a little too late. So it's like all these saving moments, right?
So we as generators experience these synchronicities, coincidences. It's not coincidences.
Nothing is a coincidence.
But these synchronicities when we are in alignment, when we are living our truth and doing what we need to be doing more.
It's just so cute. Like simple little things like just waking up, I think for me, and getting ready to leave in the morning. I'm not a morning person, right? And so then I'm always like half asleep walking out the house. And then it's just the little things, right? Like opening the window for the plants and just seeing the sun come in is so cute. It's just so, beautiful. And then just seeing the little cats all walking around, and then it's just like they're so cute. They're like saying bye. It's just those little things that for me it's like I'm not a morning person, so I hate waking up early and I hate having to get up to work so early, but then it also reminds me of how blessed, right? How blessed we are, how blessed I am to be able to go to work and to be there and get there, and just such a blessing just for everything that we have, and just a reminder that we've worked really hard to get where we're at. Our ancestors have worked really hard to get us where we are. And I think that once, I don't know. I think so. For many, many years, I was used to living in such chaos and such craziness that this calm blissness is just so, I don't know, just for me. It just, all the easiness, right, is like a synchronicity for me. Just knowing that.
Well, yeah, it is. It is. Well, I think it's more than synchronicity. Well, I don't think it's the alignment. It's the flow. It's the easy.
One of my main things is like, I've always wanted to go back to school. Simple. Always wanted to. But it was never a good time. And everybody was like, go back to law school, go to law school. And I'm like, okay, I'll go to law school. But I never wanted to go to law school, right? Yeah, I can do it, but it's not something that I want to. So then just everything got into place and worked out well. And I remember applying to school, and then I got really, really sick. So then I had to like postpone an interview that I had. And I was like, great, I'm not going to get into grad school. And then I was able to, I don't know, they extended the deadline for me. They worked with me on it. And then everything fell into place and I got in. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like it was something like I didn't even, like I wanted it, but I wasn't like hardcore fighting for it because I got so sick.
I think that that's a good example of how when you do what you need to do, or that when you do what feeds you or what's for you, the universe will bring it smoothly,
right,
with flow. You know what I mean? And I think that's what insecurities. I think that's what synchronicities are at the same time. Well,
what are synchronicities?
Synchronicities are like the signs, or when everything just aligns
and everything is good.
So,
right?
like, let's say. Well, for me, one of the biggest things at one point in my life was transformation. I was going through a hardcore transformation, maybe like when I was like 19, and then again when I was 21. And during that time, I would see a lot of butterflies everywhere. And they were yellow. And yellow for me is Oshun, right? So, and then Oshun, and then number 5 is transformation more, and it's
that's
just
her number,
right, and it's connecting with divinity. So I would see yellow everywhere. I would see like yellow flowers, yellow shirts, yellow cars, and then the number 5 in yellow, and then a yellow butterfly, all in the same fucking day. And it's like, out of all the things that could have caught my attention, I saw yellow 5 and butterflies. You know what I mean? So those are synchronicities. Those are alignments.
So then for me, it's like, for me it's Shango, right? And when I was going through my divorce, I went and bought a red truck. I had a red purse. When I got a red purse, I had everything red, and that's his color, and he's a warrior. And so for me, it's like he was there when I needed to fight, right? When I needed to find that courage. And so everywhere for me, it was just that warrior energy that he sent me, that he was with me, and still is,
and
with
that you
me.
could survive,
and that I can survive,
make it out. You know what I mean? And that you will rebirth out of this,
right? Out of the ash, out of the fire,
right?
The ash, the fire, and then the ash. Yes.
And yeah, and like we were talking about seeing 369 everywhere after, and three being the number of pure divinity. You know what I mean?
Yes,
that beautiful
that Trinity,
right? And I was in meditation a few days ago, and I don't know, they were telling me that my connection with divinity, I was up in Egypt, I don't know, and the pyramids, and so we were having a moment, and then all of a sudden my phone rang. I got a notification, 3 different notifications at the same time, so it was dun dun dun, and it got me out of my meditation. It was the weirdest shit ever, really? Because I thought that I had turned it off, but I didn't, and so then I like got out of my meditation, like what the fuck, super quick. And then I looked, and I did have like the 3 notifications, and then it was 6:18.
Wow.
So 8 being like just infinity, and
but
a beautiful
8 plus
flow.
1 is 9.
Oh my god! And then 8. Oh my god! And then so 6 divisible by 3, right? 1 being everything, the 8 being everything as well, and then 9, so another 3. And then I had gotten another notification, and they had sent it to me at 6:08. And then what else was going on too? And it was just in that moment that I was like, oh, and then I had stopped my timer at 33 minutes.
Oh wow.
And what was it? Oh, in 0.3 or something like that. So it was just all 3s across the board. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so then those were synchronicities that are just so tiny in like 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All about what I had just meditated on.
Damn.
So everything, no matter how fucked up or how rude the 3 notifications were, it was so I could see it all. You know what I mean?
I was trying to decide if I'm going to take this trip or not. This trip that I'm going to do, I'm taking a sabbatical. So I was trying to decide, okay, should I take my sabbatical or not? And then I was like, all right, guys. That's how I talk to my spirit guides. I'm like, all right, guys, what should I do? I don't know what to do. Give me a sign. I really want to, but at the same time, I don't want to. And so then Nayeli comes into the car. So when are you taking your trip, your solo trip? And I was like, I guess I am.
So one of the things that I wanted to add is, like, you know how you said you're not a morning person, and you started opening things up, like the blinds and seeing the cats. I feel like it's just your transcend, or just moving past just looking at it with your 2 eyes and being in your head. You're being more present with your body, and you're feeling what it's like to open up those blinds and look at your plants and having them indulge in the sun, and you're looking at the cats and you're feeling it, you know? So it's more of your mind and your body working together rather than you just being in your mind, which I think is really, really beautiful and something that is just such a blessing to experience. And I feel like we don't talk about it a lot, is when you are going through this transition or this transformation of becoming more present, you start feeling so much more. You start feeling the connection that people talk about, and people are like trying to think that they're trying to understand, and we go back, they're trying to understand the connection that somebody has with the universe, but it's not about seeing it or understanding it cognitively. It's about feeling it.
Oh my gosh. And I think that's why for me it's been exhausting, because I wasn't feeling for so many years, right? I wasn't feeling, I was disconnected. So then actually feeling things and like feeling it's a lot of work. Like even today, like somebody at work was like, oh my gosh, for not being such a huggy, touchy person, you're over there giving away lots of hugs, right? So I was like, oh, thank you.
Who? Sorry, I'm so nosy.
Because it's so funny, because for a longest time, I wasn't, right? I don't.
Yeah, that's true.
I was not affectionate. I didn't know how to show it. So now I'm like, well, they've come a long way. Even in those little things, right? But yeah, just feeling it. But at the end, but it's exhausting.
It is.
I don't know how you guys do it.
The essence of the universe, because you don't have to do it by yourself, because you are everything. That's so true. Then you can pull from whatever guides you. Yeah. And going back to that meditation, you think that it's draining you because you are using so much of yours, but then you have to be like, okay,
help me out, guys.
But at the same time, it's still you. So bring it back. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I was a synchronicity. I was thinking today specifically, walking out of the gym. Well, I've been thinking a lot about how I'm just such an introvert. Like I am so surrounded with you guys. You guys like going out, doing things, being places with people, and I am not like that at all.
We take you out and you have that bitch face. Woo.
Okay, yeah, but even then, it's like when I'm there, maybe like when I'm there, I'll enjoy myself. But getting me to go there. So I've been thinking a lot about how I'm an introvert and don't really like going out of my comfort of my space. And so I was thinking just more about it, like why is it a little bit more difficult for me? And remember, I was watching Haunting of Hill House, and I just really understood one of the characters of like, they don't like to touch people because they feel everything. And I was walking out of the gym and I was thinking about that. It's like, it's like I'm finally okay with being an introvert, but for the longest time I wasn't.
But I think that's a big key right there, that you're around people and you feel so much.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's like, I'll talk to somebody and I'll get the vibe, and I'm like, okay, like no thank you, I'm sorry. And it's like, I'm not opposed, I'm not closed off, I'm just, it's super quick, you know what I mean? Like I don't have to sit there for 2 hours to fill it out, I already know. And so then you bringing that up again, you brought up that you weren't a touchy-feely person. And so those are little synchronicities today, because I was thinking, I totally relate to Theo, because first of all, if I can feel your energy just by looking at you, I don't want to like,
oh my god, yeah.
Like I don't want to high five you. I don't nothing. Like if I can, the fucking door handle. Like no, thank you. I don't want anything that comes with it, or the fucking barbells, you know. So and then it was that one thought of I'm not.
Right.
I don't want to touch you.
Right.
And then you brought that up, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a touchy-feely person.
Right.
I love hugs.
Right.
With the people that I'm comfortable with.
Right.
Or with the energy.
And I think that's for me, that it's just, one, I wasn't even comfortable with my own energy, right? And so now I've learned I'm comfortable with myself, with my energy, I've learned to do that with myself, and then also I've learned how to navigate more out in the world where I don't have to suck in everybody's energy. Yeah, because that's how I feel too. Oh my god! And then I always like catch like people looking at me, and I feel like they're just pulling my energy. It's so weird. So I've just been really, because I've been very careful with my energy now. I don't go where I don't want to go.
Generator.
And I'm very, I don't know, I'm a lot more, because I'm really social.
Super duper social.
When I want to be, and when I'm comfortable in a situation, forget it. But now what I do is I don't, I've always felt like I have to turn it on, you know? And so now I'm really working on being more real, being more present, and not having to turn it on. So I'll only do it if I feel like it. And if I don't, I won't. Like me, I've learned how to navigate with all my walls up, right? Because I work, especially because of the job I do. Oh my God. If I did not have my walls up or my protections up, I would just be absorbing all these people's energy and I'd be losing my goddamn shit.
Right. And I understand that. And I think it goes back to the perspective too, though. Because when I was operating from trauma with like men, with my stalker and all that shit, then I felt like every person that would look at me, especially a man that would look at me, I would be in freak out mode and be like, oh my God. So I think, and then when I healed that trauma, regulated my nervous system, my perspective changed. The story that I was telling myself changed. If they're looking at me, whatever, I'm gonna keep doing whatever the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? And my energy and that my mentality, my perspective by itself created a container for my energy.
Oh, so you're saying, okay. So I guess it's not necessarily when people look at me. I think when people are really close to me, I feel like when they're in my bubble, in my energy bubble, I'm like,
that shit pisses me
I'm like scooting over, right? I'm like, ugh. Like today, I did yoga for everybody, and I made sure I had a lot of space. I'm like, oh, make sure you can. Don't get close. I need.
Don't get close.
Don't get close, because I don't know these people, right? And I don't really, I don't mind it, but sometimes I'm like, give me some space. Give me some space.
I feel that. And for the longest time, it would anger me, anger. Now, and I slowly transitioned to, okay, fine.
That's so nice.
You know
and for me, I feel like, so before...
Just don't touch me. If you touch me, game over. That's such a thing for me. Like, I do not...
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
It's like the whole, oh my God. You know that story in the Bible where there's like, Jesus was walking down somewhere and this woman touched him. And then he turns around, who touched me? And because the person got healed. Is that you? Who touched
me? Yeah, low key. Well, no one touches me because I put it out there. Don't fucking touch me.
Woo.
So, so if I give you a hug.
One of the things that I've really learned, this is when I know I'm growing, oh my God, that people that, oh my God, that really annoy me, get on my nerves, drive me nuts, that now I'm learning how to see them with eyes of compassion and love, and I'm just like, oh, pobrecitos, they need a hug. So I switched that mentality where like, oh my God, FTP, to, oh, I'm so sorry, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's really, I don't know, it's just amazing how I've been able to switch that and just realize how much they actually need that love, that attention, that you know, instead of just that. I guess I can be more empathetic and see where they're coming from. Right.
That part, yeah.
And that has, oof, that's been hard, really hard, because I'm a very, I don't know, my personality is just I'm very black or white, right? I don't know.
Ego.
Huh?
Ego too.
Oh yeah, which I'm working on.
Right.
But I don't know how to function in the gray. So it's either yes or no. It's not a maybe. It's a you do this to me, fuck, you're over here. So it just that whole that I don't have. I used to not have that flexibility, right? And so I'm really working in that space now of allowing it and being more. Not as rigid, because I was really rigid as well with myself.
Yeah, no, I understand you 100%. Yeah, and I think it has to go too with the trauma.
Oh yeah. So for me, one of the big ways that I learned and was able to hear my ancestors is when I would ask a question and I would start feeling tingling, right? Tingling, feel like sensation, like cold, and that's one of the main. That's how I started finally listening to them. Just hearing that little tingle, feeling that little tingle, and that'd be like confirmation that yes, they're here. It's an answer. Yes, it's, you know, that I'm on the right path.
The ringing in the ears, the burps, literally just, but you have to connect with your body.
You have to, and then you have to also set up like a language with them, right? Be like, okay, well, show me red when it's a no.
Well, those are how generators
Oh.
Generators operate like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to tell you what the other ones operate.
Oh.
But last time in one of the podcasts, we did talk about how everyone can do it. Everyone can connect with your ancestors. But there's a way that it will come easier for you.
Yeah,
and for generators, when it comes to asking questions or getting something answered, the best way is by telling your ancestors, setting up that if it's red, bring me a red rose if the answer is this, or make it rain if the answer is that.
Yeah. So then I've learned to, one of the things I ask questions and I feel that. And then also another thing that I just remembered. We've been talking a lot about patience. I was talking to Sophia about patience and just talking about patience. And then I was on the treadmill the other day, and then this little old lady went and stood right next to me, got on the treadmill right next to me. The whole row is empty. Whole row is fucking empty.
There's like, what, 12, 13?
12. She gets her right next to me. I'm like, it's okay. I don't mind. I probably stink a little, so it's okay. The joke's on you. Then she gets her phone, puts it right next to me on my side. So on this side, and I'm right here. I'm right here. She puts the phone right here. Full blast! Watching the Netflix show. And I'm like, God damn. I was like so annoyed. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I still had like another mile to go. I was like, no, it's okay. I went all the way on my headphones, all the way, and I can still hear her show. Oh!
And it's so funny because I think that's like the cutest thing ever. Like and then I told you, what if they just felt safe with you? You know what I mean?
So that I was going through it, right? Inside I was like so annoyed, pissed off, and then I was like, and then I got to that point. You know what? Maybe she just felt comfortable, felt protected. So I was like, okay. I took it. So I just put my volume down and listened to her show.
Or she was protecting you.
Oh, she was protecting me, right?
What if she was one of your ancestors?
Oh, my cute little viejito.
Ah, ahora sí ya cambió.
Ahora sí. My little cute viejitos.
Cool.
But you know what? And I didn't think about that. My grandpa would love to walk. And he wouldn't go to the gym, but he would walk from his house to my mom's house, and it was like 12 blocks. And he would walk over every morning. And then if my mom was still sleeping, he'd start watering the lawn. Drink his little coffee in his same little coffee mug. So, okay.
Maybe it was him. And he had been popping up a lot for a while.
Yeah. So, all right. I see you now. Took a moment. Okay, well, I think just paying attention, right? Noticing all the little things. Like Nayeli said, you don't expect them to come down and show themselves. You know, they show themselves with music, with lyrics, with signs, with the birds, with the color.
Colors, dude, everywhere.
Somebody bringing something up, whatever, your neighbor says. It's everywhere.
It's in the little things.
Yeah, it's your cat coming up to you.
Right, when you're asking a question and then your cat comes up to you. Yeah. And so it's just a matter of paying attention.
Yeah.
It's being more present.
It's like you sit outside and pull weeds.
All right,
y'all. Well, so thank you so much for your time, for your space, for allowing us to be in your energy. Don't forget to follow us, Hija del Maíz.
Oh, yeah.
TikTok, Instagram.
And then the Nay_area is my handle on every platform. I go live and I do readings, healing sessions, whatever you're looking for.
Ashe.
Goodbye.